Hey, my friend.
I thought my toque looked stupid.
We got a blue bandana for you if you want to join us.
Yeah, I'd love to have a blue. Grapes' greatest ever coach's corner was the night he wore the earring and the sunglasses in Los Angeles. And everybody wants hockey to be a silver ballet. And here they come, the dancers now. Marty McSorley and Jay Miller. And there's Kelly Rudy, the blue headband. Blue chiffon, wouldn't you say? Do you guys know Kelly?
Not yet. We're hoping to meet him.
Yeah.
We thought he'd be here today.
He's in Auburn Bay in Calgary. So
Hey, Kelly.
Yeah. They send their love to you out in Stampede City. Well, first up, it's the story of Kelly's old team, the '87 Canada Cup team. He was a great coach for Grant Fuhrer. Here's the secret of the success of Team Canada back in 1987.
Howard-Chuck wins it in. Here's Lemieux poking at the center. Lemieux ahead to Gretzky. Has Murphy with him on a 2-on-1.
Everyone remembers the pass. Everyone remembers the shot. Everyone remembers the celebration. But long before there was a happy ending in the 1987 Canada Cup, there was hardship, animosity, all part of the challenge of building a winning team.
Well, the camp's competitive. You know, you have guys not making the team that are, are Hall of Famers, and not because they weren't good enough, just for the reason that the coach and management just thought that a little different look would be, would work.
Some guys are thrust to the forefront, other guys are pulled back, some guys don't want to step on anybody's toes, so there's a lot of things to work out. And so if you're tuned in at all to, the team and as a coach and all that kind of thing, you're monitoring those situations all the time to figure out, where your key guys are going to be and who needs to move up and take the leadership and who needs to come back and play a lesser role.
That coach, the one whose job it was to turn this group of all-stars into a team, was Mike Keenan.
Most people are aware I had to also cut some very big names and very big stars on various teams, including, for example, Patrick Waugh and Cam Neely and Wendell Clark. So who knows what could have transpired. That all we reflect upon it now is realize how deep our team was.
Keenan knew he had to turn this group of players into a team, and quickly. He decided the players needed a common focus, something or someone to pull them together. He picked himself. After a lethargic Game 1 tie against Czechoslovakia in Calgary, he imposed a very unpopular curfew.
They thought they were going to, again, take off with their gang and have a fun time, and I made them get on the bus.
Yeah, it raised a few eyebrows when that happened, but everybody was focused on the big picture. But yeah, there was bumps along the road, that was for sure, and that could be the first one.
I don't know if it was near revolt, but it was there were issues there.
That was what Mike's, to me, that was always Mike's, one of his strong points that he did well. He tried to galvanize, and he would do things to galvanize the group together, whether it was to be, if we're all mad at him, at least collectively we're all mad at him. And he didn't mind that, because he felt that it would bring us closer.
Resentment over Keenan's ongoing hardline tactics boiled over to the point the players decided to do something about it when the team arrived in Montreal 6 days later.
When we had the session, the practice session, or preparation sessions, I wanted their best abilities and their full attention. And once I explained that to them, they were great. They were Gretzky, Messi, and Bork. You probably know the story. Came to see me after they were a little bit disgruntled about the amount of work we were doing, and after that was explained, it was very simply put to them. It lasted about 3 or 4 minutes of conversation. Wayne stood up, said, "I'm sorry we're here. It won't happen again. There will be never an issue on this team again. I'll see you tomorrow at practice." I said, "Great."
But that meeting was the tipping point. Keenan knew that group of all-stars had become a team, and it was finally reflected on the ice. And it happened just in time to get them to the final against the very powerful Soviets.
Here's Makara. Makara beating Fetisov, closing in. He scores! Fetisov from Makara. It's 3-0 for the Soviets.
Really, it was just strength of character, strength of and determination from everyone to just fight through that and say it's just not over. It's not over.
Knocked down by Canada. Here's Murphy. Here's Steele about the same rebound.
It was the best hockey that I've ever seen.
Gets some help from Brent Sutter out in front. They
It's the best hockey I've ever been part of.
Howard shot back to the net, stops it in front. Shoots, he scores!
Probably the greatest team that I've ever been associated with, and I have wonderful memories from.
Is there a moment where you sit there and say, geez, I wonder if this is going to come, or did you wonder if it was going to come together?
I don't think you ever know until the second has gone off the clock. Oftentimes, you never know how a team's going to come together. You never, I mean, there's a lot of unknowns, but that's the beauty of it.
4 seconds left. Team Canada wins 6-5. Look at that celebration.
Scott, another untold story of that?
Well, it's interesting. I'd learned about the rebellion partway through the tournament and had written a story, and I guess one of my sources had told Alan Eagleson, who was running the tournament, that I was on to this, and I got back late at night on the eve of the playoff round to my hotel room in Montreal. No cell phones back then, of course, and the flashing red light was on the phone, and I get the message, and it's Eagleson saying, your story's 100% right, but you've got to spike it. He says, we have to win this game against the Czechs tomorrow. An entire nation is waiting for us to win. Don't screw it up. It'll be on your shoulders. Well, I kind of sweated it out during the game the next night, but the story ran. It was long gone by that point. And another interesting story is in that last game when Canada went down 3-0, Wayne Gretzky came to the bench and he said to Keenan at that point, he says, I'm absolutely spent. I got to sit for a while. And Mike, that's when they started using the unsung heroes, and Huey talked about it in his piece, how you need more than just stars to make a team. And that's when the unsung heroes, the Props and the Sutters and the Murphys, went out and got the job done and got them back in the game. But Mike said he looked down at the Soviet bench next to him at Copps Coliseum, and Tikhonov kept looking over at him like he had 3 heads, and he says he absolutely knew what was going through his mind. He says that madman has just benched Wayne Gretzky in the biggest game of the tournament.
The hero of Brantford just down the road. Well, there you have the reason Canada won in '87 and the treason Canada won in '87. Scott Morrison, our thanks to you. When we come back in our second intermission of our game here from Ottawa, we'll have the story of Howie Moran's with Dick Irvin. Alex Kovalev, the lone goal so far in the nation's capital.